Deion Sanders just did something that no NFL parent has ever done publicly, and what he revealed is going to change how everyone understands the business side of the draft and rookie contracts. In a conversation that was supposed to be private, but that sources have now leaked to multiple reporters, Deion laid out a detailed, sophisticated plan for how he's going to maximize Shedeur's rookie contract in ways that go far beyond just the standard rookie wage scale that everyone assumes determines what first-round picks make. The plan involves contract structures that exploit loopholes in the CBA, endorsement deals that are tied to specific team situations, and strategic decisions about which team Shedeur signs with that are based on financial modeling that takes into account state taxes, cost of living, endorsement market size, and long-term wealth building. The specific dollar figure Deion is targeting, $50 million in total compensation during Shedeur's first 4 years in the NFL, is substantially more than what the rookie wage scale would normally provide for a quarterback drafted where Shedeur is projected to go. And the methods Deion is planning to use to reach that number are so creative, so aggressive, and so perfectly legal within NFL rules that league executives and team salary cap managers are reportedly studying what he's proposing, because if it works, it's going to become the new template for how top draft picks negotiate their entry into the league. The conversation where Deion Sanders laid out his plan for Shedeur's contract took place during a meeting with a small group of business advisors, attorneys, and financial planners who Deion has assembled to manage Shedeur's transition from college to the NFL. According to sources who were present or who were briefed on what was discussed, the meeting was held at a private office in Colorado and was supposed to be completely confidential. But within days, detailed accounts of what Deion said during that meeting started circulating among NFL agents, team executives, and media members who cover the business side of football. And what those accounts reveal is that Deion Sanders has been thinking about Shedeur's NFL contract situation with a level of sophistication and strategic planning that goes far beyond what most parents of draft prospects engage in. Deion started the meeting, according to sources, by making clear that his goal isn't just to get Shedeur drafted in the first round, or even to get him drafted as high as possible. Deion's goal is to maximize the total financial value of Shedeur's first NFL contract in ways that set him up for long-term wealth that extends well beyond his playing career. And to do that, according to sources, Deion has developed a multi-layered strategy that addresses not just the contract with whichever NFL team drafts Shedeur, but also endorsement opportunities, investment structures, and tax optimization strategies that together could generate the $50 million in total value that Deion is targeting over Shedeur's first 4 years in the league.
The first component of the plan, according to sources, involves understanding and maximizing what's available within the rookie wage scale system that governs how much first-round picks can be paid. The rookie wage scale, implemented in the 2011 CBA, establishes predetermined salary ranges for each draft slot. A quarterback drafted 3rd overall, which is where Cleveland would take Shedeur if their trade goes through, would be slotted to receive approximately 4 years and $32 million with roughly $18 million guaranteed. Those numbers are fixed and non-negotiable in terms of the base contract, but according to sources, Deion's plan recognizes that there's flexibility within that structure around timing of payments, bonus structures, and contractual language that can affect the actual value a player receives. According to sources, Deion has been working with contract attorneys who specialize in NFL deals to identify every possible optimization within the rookie contract structure. This includes things like front-loading signing bonuses to get guaranteed money as quickly as possible, structuring workout bonuses and roster bonuses in ways that provide additional guaranteed money beyond the base salary, and including contract language that provides escalators or performance bonuses that could add value if Shedeur performs well. Sources say Deion's team has modeled out several different contract structures that all fall within the rookie wage scale rules, but that vary in terms of how much cash Shedeur would actually receive in his first year versus later years, and how much of the total contract value is truly guaranteed versus conditional on performance or roster status. The second component of Deion's plan, according to sources, is the one that's generating the most attention and the most concern from NFL teams, because it involves Deion actively steering Shedeur toward teams based on financial considerations beyond just football. According to sources, Deion has had his financial team create detailed analyses of the financial implications of Shedeur signing with different teams based on factors like state income tax rates, cost of living in different cities, and the size and competitiveness of endorsement markets. According to these analyses, a quarterback drafted third overall and signing in a state with no income tax like Florida or Texas would save over $2 million in state taxes over 4 years compared to signing in a high-tax state like California or New York. Similarly, the cost of living differences between smaller markets and major markets could affect how far Shedeur's salary actually goes in terms of quality of life and ability to save and invest. But the most significant financial consideration, according to sources, is the endorsement market that different cities provide. According to the modeling Deion's team has done, a quarterback playing in a major market like New York or Los Angeles has access to endorsement opportunities that could generate $3 to $5 million per year, while a quarterback in a smaller market might generate only $1 to $2 million per year in endorsements, even with comparable on-field performance. That difference, multiplied over 4 years, is substantial enough that Deion views the endorsement market size as one of the most important factors in determining which team situation is actually best for Shedeur financially. According to sources, this is where Deion's strategy gets controversial and where NFL teams are starting to express concern. Deion is reportedly telling teams directly that he and Shedeur are evaluating draft situations based on total financial package, not just football fit, and that teams in less favorable financial situations from a tax or endorsement perspective are going to have to work harder to convince Shedeur that their situation is worth accepting. Sources say Deion has specifically told certain teams that Shedeur would prefer not to be drafted by them if possible, not because of football reasons, but because the financial situation isn't optimal, and that if those teams draft him anyway, they should expect Shedeur to be less enthusiastic about signing quickly or committing fully to that organization.
That kind of communication, that level of transparency about financial priorities, potentially overriding football considerations, is extremely unusual in the draft context and is making some teams very uncomfortable. The concern from teams' perspectives is that if Deion is willing to be this explicit about financial considerations, what else might he be willing to do to steer Shedeur's career in directions that serve financial goals rather than football goals? And what does it mean for team culture if a rookie quarterback arrives with the attitude that he's primarily there for the financial opportunity rather than the football opportunity? The third component of Deion's plan, according to sources, involves the endorsement strategy itself and how Deion is preparing to maximize Shedeur's earning potential from sponsors and business partners. According to sources, Deion has already been in preliminary discussions with major brands about endorsement deals that would be activated the moment Shedeur is drafted. These deals are being structured as pay-for-performance arrangements, where Shedeur's compensation increases based on specific metrics like playing time, team success, and media exposure. According to sources, Deion's team has negotiated frameworks with several brands where Shedeur could earn anywhere from $500,000 to $2 million per year, depending on how his rookie season goes. And these frameworks are designed to begin generating income immediately, rather than waiting for Shedeur to prove himself over multiple seasons. But the really sophisticated part of Deion's endorsement strategy, according to sources, is how he's structuring deals to align with whichever team drafts Shedeur. According to sources, some of the endorsement agreements include provisions that pay Shedeur more if he's drafted by a team in a major media market or a team with national television exposure, because those situations provide more value to the sponsor. This creates a financial incentive structure where Shedeur benefits from being in high-visibility situations, which Deion views as important for building Shedeur's long-term brand value.
Critics of this approach, according to sources, argue that it creates conflicts of interest where Shedeur might prioritize media exposure or market size over football development. But Deion's perspective, according to sources, is that building a personal brand is part of football development in the modern NFL and should be treated as seriously as learning playbooks or improving mechanics. The fourth component of Deion's plan, according to sources, involves investment and wealth management strategies that are designed to turn Shedeur's NFL earnings into long-term wealth that outlasts his playing career. According to sources, Deion has connected Shedeur with financial advisors who specialize in working with professional athletes, and they've developed an investment strategy that involves immediately investing a significant portion of Shedeur's signing bonus into diversified portfolios, including real estate, index funds, and private equity opportunities. According to sources, Deion is adamant that Shedeur not make the mistake that many young NFL players make of spending their signing bonus on lifestyle expenses and luxury purchases. Instead, Deion wants the majority of that money working immediately to generate returns that will compound over Shedeur's career and beyond. Sources say Deion has also been talking to Shedeur about equity-based endorsement deals, where instead of being paid cash for endorsing a brand, Shedeur takes equity in the company. According to sources, Deion views this as a way to potentially generate significantly more value over time if the companies Shedeur partners with are successful, and he's been selective about which equity opportunities to pursue based on advice from business advisors who help identify companies with strong growth potential.
The combined effect of all four components of Deion's plan, according to sources who've seen the financial projections, is that Shedeur could realistically generate close to $50 million in total value over his first 4 years in the NFL when you add together his rookie contract, endorsement income, and investment returns. That's significantly more than what most rookies drafted in similar positions achieve, and it's more than what the rookie wage scale alone would provide. And according to sources, Deion has been presenting this plan not just to Shedeur, but also to teams that are considering drafting him, essentially saying that if you draft Shedeur, you're not just getting a quarterback, you're getting someone who's going to be financially secure and focused because his off-field business is being managed professionally and strategically. But there's a darker side to Deion's plan that sources say is concerning to some people in the NFL. The aggressive focus on maximizing financial value, the willingness to steer Shedeur toward certain teams based on taxes and endorsement markets, equity-based sponsorships, and aggressive investment strategies, all of this creates an impression that Deion views Shedeur's NFL career primarily as a business opportunity rather than a football opportunity. And while there's nothing wrong with being strategic about business, the concern is that if financial considerations are driving decisions to the extent that Deion's plan suggests, it could affect Shedeur's football development and his relationships with teams and teammates, who might perceive him as being more interested in money than winning. Sources say several NFL teams have discussed Deion's financial planning strategy in their internal draft meetings, and opinions are divided. Some teams view it as smart and impressive, evidence that Shedeur is being set up for success in ways that most rookies aren't. Other teams view it as a red flag, suggesting that Deion's influence over Shedeur is too strong and too focused on non-football matters, and that drafting Shedeur means taking on Deion as a business partner in ways that could create complications. According to sources, at least one team that had been seriously considering Shedeur has moved him down their board, specifically because of concerns about Deion's involvement and the financial priorities that seem to be driving the Sanders family's decision-making. The NFL League office is aware of Deion's contract planning and, according to sources, has been reviewing whether any of the strategies being employed raise compliance issues with league rules or the CBA. According to sources, the league's preliminary assessment is that everything Deion is doing falls within the rules, that there's nothing preventing a player or his representatives from being strategic about contract structures, endorsements, and financial planning.
But sources say the league is watching carefully to make sure that there's no tampering or improper coordination between Shedeur's camp and specific teams before the draft, because some of the conversations Deion has been having with teams about financial considerations could potentially cross that line if they involve specific commitments or assurances about what Shedeur would or wouldn't do if drafted by particular teams. As of now, Deion Sanders has not publicly discussed the specifics of his financial planning for Shedeur's contract, and sources say he's been advised by his legal team to keep those discussions private to avoid creating issues with the league or with teams. But the information that's leaked out about his $50 million plan has already generated significant discussion throughout the NFL about whether this represents the future of how top prospects and their families will approach the draft, or whether it's an outlier situation specific to Deion's unique background and influence that won't be replicated by other players and families. Deion Sanders has developed a sophisticated plan to maximize Shedeur's rookie contract to $50 million through contract optimization, strategic team selection based on taxes and endorsement markets, equity-based sponsorships, and aggressive investment strategies. The plan is legal, impressive, and concerning all at once, showing both brilliant financial planning and raising questions about whether money is driving decisions more than football. Teams are divided on whether this makes Shedeur more or less attractive as a draft prospect.